Hello, welcome back to Nick Lenz's movie reviews. This is episode number 17, and I think this is like triple feature number 4. I'm guessing at that. I'll check it later. Alright, double feature. Talk about these two films. Friday the 13th, Part 7. 7, New Blood, and Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. New Blood takes place probably about a year after the events of the previous film, and Jason is still at the bottom of the lake. They do have a flashback to establish the main protagonist of this film. No, there's no time about Jarvis in this. No mention happened to him. From this point on, it's just different protagonists. It's a woman who has telekinesis. Now, that's some people don't like. Kane Hodder. Now, Kane Hodder is the Jason Voorhees for the next 4 films, starting with this film. This is where he starts. Simply put, I do like the new ideas they do with the character. Have him fight a telekinetic, someone use telekinesis. That's a really interesting idea, very original for the series. Too bad they never used the concept. Though the character does return for the Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash Nightmare Warrior series. She does return for that one after this film. The actress herself never returns for the series. There's no mention happened to her in the next film. She tries to resurrect her father, who she accidentally killed when she was a young girl. And when she was a little girl, she accidentally killed her father. So, in trying to resurrect her father using telekinesis, she accidentally wakes up Jason Voorhees. And, and he goes on a killing spree in this film. It's not as high as Part 6. It's close to that. And Kane Hodder has this way of basically how he moves, is that he moves the head first. He moves the head first. And he just moves his head, and he moves his body. That's his style. He uses that style for the next 4 films. I should mention that. She does fight him frequently throughout when she does fight him. Like, she tries to electrocute him by having there's this puddle he just happened to come across, and then she brings down a power line, wraps around him, then she drags him down, and he nearly fries him. He somehow survives that. Then when they get to her house, who he tears out to pieces, and try to kill her boyfriend too, then she tries to strangle him with some cord. And then he's like, okay, fine. And then she rips his mask in 4 pieces. Like, she just keeps squeezing the mask, and then she just rips the mask into like 4 different pieces, showing off his disgusting looking face that he's got. And man, he's mad now. Though when he is defeated, he gets defeated by having her father drag him back down the Crystal Lake, which he remains in the next film. It's a really interesting film, to say the least. Interesting ideas. Very exciting to watch. See what happens to Jason when he gets hit with a power line or drowns again. I would think that all the Friday the 13th movies, this one's kind of fun to watch. So I give New Blood a 9 out of 10. Much better than the previous film, and lots of fun. Next comes Jason Takes Manhattan. One small problem. He only spends there's only 20 minutes of this film set in Manhattan. They spend most of the film in Canada. I'm not kidding. They spend most of the film on this cruise ship, which was going to Manhattan anyways. And he systematically kills the entire cast. Oh yeah, he does get a new mask in this film. Gets his 3rd mask. A mask he keeps for like the rest of the series. And this film is fun. Like not as fun as the previous film, but after he kills everybody on board except for like about 6 people. At the beginning of the film, they should kind of show exactly where stuff would happen later on in the film, which I thought was a really interesting idea. How there's back for a second film. Now, all films in the series are rated R. New Blood came out in 1988, and Jason Takes Manhattan came out in 1989, released by a year apart, and they kind of feel like basically that the Jason Takes Manhattan does feel like it takes place 1 year later. I mean, it feels like a whole year passed by the time you watch the next film, and he kills 2 people at the start of the film, and he starts killing them one by one. Then he kills this. There was one woman he didn't kill. She got killed by accident. She got killed by a car when a police car crashed. And probably the best scene of the film is when he runs to these group of punks, and when he's in Times Square, he's taking it all in. He's like, oh my, this is not Crystal Lake. And I mean, that is such a cool moment. But the best moment of the entire series comes when he walks by these group of punks who have this boombox. He knocks over the boombox, and he's like, hey, do you got a problem? He takes out their knives, and then he just lifts off his mask, shows them his face, and they're like, we're cool, man. We're cool. And they just run away. That is the most funniest scene in the entire series. And it happens in this very film. And he gets defeated very strangely. He gets deformed to a child, and he gets his mask removed, and he's fine, and he gets sucked up to the sewers. It's a very weird ending. It's somewhat anticlimactic, but it's a decent film. And I should also say that it was the last film that Paramount put out before New Line Cinema to pick up the rights. Yeah. So, this film, I'm also going to give a 9 out of 10. It's a really interesting film to watch. And he does use a machete in the film. In this one, he just uses a knife. So, be that as well. Alright. Stay tuned for the next episode, which will be episode 18. Alright. See you there. Bye.